Hey everyone, Harris Rubenstein here for NBA Weekly. The NBA Draft is a little over a week away, so there are plenty of NBA Draft rumors to sort through, so let's get right into things. Our first one is Luka Doncic remaining in the draft. Yes, he is. 4 crying Jordans on this one. We finally got confirmation a couple days ago that Luka Doncic will indeed stay in the 2018 NBA Draft. There were some rumblings that he could have gone back to Spain to play another year with Real Madrid, who he just won the EuroLeague with. He also won EuroLeague MVP and Final Four MVP in the EuroLeague, the youngest player to ever do so. And like I've mentioned many times before with the NBA Draft, Luka Doncic is doing unprecedented things in the EuroLeague for a 19-year-old, which is why he is my #1 overall player going into the draft. So him actually staying in this year's class is huge because now it opens up a big question for the Suns. Do we go with Arizona big man DeAndre Ayton, or do we stay with Luka Doncic and draft the guy who was coached by our new coach, Igor Kokoskov? So a lot of different options for the Phoenix Suns. I'm sure we'll hear plenty of rumblings as we get closer and closer to the NBA draft. All right, let's get into number 2. Do the Knicks want Michael Porter Jr.? So this is a rumor that came out yesterday. We're giving this one 3 crying Jordans. It's pretty likely that the Knicks want Michael Porter Jr., specifically because the Knicks have been calling teams about moving up specifically for Porter Jr. They attended his pro day and now have a private workout coming up with Porter Jr. in Chicago on Friday. Now, the Knicks currently own the number 9 pick in the draft. I had Porter Jr. going number 6 overall to the Orlando Magic. So obviously the Knicks would have to trade up into the top 5 in order to get Michael Porter Jr. There is also a rumor out there that Porter Jr. is the number 3 prospect on multiple teams inside of the top 10's big board. So where Michael Porter Jr. will end up going in the draft remains to be seen, but I think teams are starting to see that he is ahead of where he's supposed to be coming off that back injury. All right, let's get to number 3. Are teams going to trade up for Jaren Jackson Jr.? We're also going to give this one 3 crying Jordans. This one's coming from Adrian Wojnarowski, saying that Jackson had a monster workout for the Phoenix Suns, and now multiple teams are trying to trade up into the top 4 for him. Now, obviously, our top 4 in the draft, the Suns got the first pick, Kings at 2, Hawks at 3, and Grizzlies at 4. We've reported multiple times here on NBA Weekly that the Grizzlies are looking to trade out and that the Kings might be looking to trade out as well. Now, Jaren Jackson Jr., he's my number 4 overall player in this year's class. I think he's behind Bagley in terms of an offensive player and in terms of being NBA ready, but his upside is as high, if not higher, than any other prospect in this year's class. So people looking to trade up for Jaren Jackson is certainly not a surprise. But I want to know from you guys, who should go number 1 overall in the NBA draft? Should it be Luka Doncic, DeAndre Ayton, maybe Marvin Bagley, or Jaren Jackson Jr.? A lot of great options this year. Can't wait to see how everything unfolds. Be sure to tune in to Chat Sports' live coverage of the NBA Draft on Thursday, June 21st. But let me know in the comments who you guys think should go number 1 overall. So before we move on, let me show you guys what these crying Jordan heads mean. 0 crying Jordans, it's a Mutombo finger wag. Get that stuff out of here. It is fake news. 1 crying Jordan, it's a small shred of truth, about a 25% chance on this one. 2 crying Jordans, people are talking. 50-50 shot here. 3 crying Jordans, it's pretty likely, about a 75% chance you'll see this one go down. And then 4 crying Jordans, bang. This is fact. This is news. All right, let's get to number 4. Are the Kings and Mavs trading back in the draft? Well, we just talked about Jaren Jackson and teams trying to trade up into the top 5 for him. Well, here we are. We're going to give this one 2 crying Jordans, just 50-50 on this one. This one also coming from Adrian Wojnarowski. Now, apparently the Kings are in quote-unquote asset stacking business, and the Mavericks want to compete for the playoffs next season. So maybe the Mavs try to make a move for the number 5 pick to trade, maybe for a DeMar DeRozan or another star. We mentioned on the Cam Rogers show this morning that DeMar DeRozan could be a trade target for the Mavs. But we also have the Kings wanting Michael Porter Jr., and that's why they could also move to trade back. Now, the Kings do pick at number 2 overall, so we could be seeing them try to get to maybe 5 or 6 or 7 to see if Porter Jr. is still on the board while collecting future assets. the Kings want to do what the Celtics did and just continue to add draft assets over the years. Remember, they do not have a first-round pick next year. So if the Kings want to get a first, maybe this is the year that they can actually move back and get some future assets. All right, let's get to number 5. Is LiAngelo Ball getting drafted? Well, according to Lonzo Ball, he is, but according to us here at Chat Sports, we're only getting this one crying Jordan. This is where I've had him the entire time. Until it's not going to happen, it's still going to be pretty unlikely. Only one head here. So LiAngelo, according to Lonzo Ball, is, quote, definitely going to get drafted. He also says that he wants LiAngelo to play with him on the Lakers, but I think we can all agree that as of right now, it is highly unlikely that LiAngelo Ball ends up getting drafted, especially and specifically to the Los Angeles Lakers, who want experienced college players in the draft, which LiAngelo Ball is not, seeing as he left UCLA and then went on to play in Lithuania. So a lot of different options for the Lakers in the draft. Can't see LiAngelo Ball ending up being one of those. All right, let's get to our last rumor here. Something that just broke is Kevin Huerter going to be out for 2 months. 4 crying Jordan heads on this one. This is fact. Just came out, a wash bomb saying that Huerter had surgery to repair ligaments in his right hand. Now, we know with Huerter that he flew up draft boards after an excellent combine. And by excellent, I mean that he was probably the top performer out of anyone that needed it at the combine. He was first in break right shooting and corner right shooting, also on the move shooting percentage, and he was second in break left shooting percentage at the combine. So an incredible performance by Kevin Huerter, which he apparently did with needed surgery in one hand. So pretty incredible stuff that Kevin Huerter was able to show up with that injury, but he should be fine for the start of the season. He is still number 23 on my board. I had the Utah Jazz picking him at number 21 in my recent mock draft. But that's going to do it for me today. Remember to follow me on Twitter at SportsDean for all your NBA draft news and updates. And remember to subscribe to Chat Sports here on YouTube so you can get a notification whenever we got some fresh draft content for you. But we'll see you next time.